Good morning to you all again today. I hope you're all ready for today's lesson. Today we're going to be doing visual literacy advertising. Welcome to everyone who has just joined STEM Lockdown Digital School. And as I tell you guys every single day, my name is Miss Pearl Langa, and I will be presenting to you guys the subject English for grade 10. I just want to know quickly before we start, who is ready for today's lesson? Just a yes or no will give me an indication that you guys are ready to go today. Okay. It seems rather quiet today. Just hello, hi, yes, no. Okay, Blessing is ready for today's lesson. I see Blessing just raised their hand. Who else is ready before we move on today? Okay, a lot of people are raising their hands. 4 people, 5 people. Thank you so much for joining in today. And we are going to do, like I explained to you guys yesterday, we are going to be doing visual literacy today. Okay, the part of visual literacy we'll be doing today is called advertising. Right, so advertising is a very normal thing. We see it all the time, and who thought advertising would be part of English? But if you look closely at advertising, you will notice that we have to interpret every type of advertising we come across, right? But before we get into that, I just want to give a few learners some shout outs. Today, we only had about 2 learners who submitted the work, and these learners are Ace. Ace submitted his diary entry, and we received Monica's diary entry. So, thank you so much for submitting your diary entry on time. I have received it and I did go through it. And I just want to say I am proud, very proud of you guys for joining in yesterday's lesson and submitting the work that you had to submit. All right. Who's ready to look at what we looked at yesterday? I see our chat today is rather quiet, but it's okay. Let's move right along. Right. So yesterday we looked at a diary entry, right? And in our diary entry, we said that in our lesson yesterday, we said that a diary is a portrayal of daily events. The author presents his or her evaluation of the day or events. A diary is written from the writer's point of view, and the first person narration is the most appropriate approach. The language choice is simple and direct to the point, and the tone will be determined by the nature of entry. So, if you remember yesterday's lesson very carefully, we spoke about all of the nitty gritties that go into a diary entry, and I gave you guys the opportunity to do this at home on your own. And I'm so proud to see that 2 of you guys at least submitted the diary entries. You still have some time. If you remember yesterday's lesson, you'll still have time to send it to me. So don't be dismayed. Um, let's just move along to today's lesson. And I see learners keep raising their hands. I'm sure you want to say something to me, but you can't. Um, and it's okay. I'm trying to get that fixed. I think learners can't comment today. Right. So let's start with today's work. Right. Like I said earlier, we'll be doing adverts and you'll be learning how to interpret adverts. And today we just have 4 aims. And at the end of the lesson, you will know how to interpret adverts. You will know the purpose of emotive language. You will know the aim of every advert, and you will know how to analyze an advert. So are you ready? Let's get right into it. Right, so interpretation of visual text, advertising. What are adverts? An advert's aim is to persuade something to buy a product or use a service. An advert uses emotive language to persuade the target audience. Different forms of media are used for advertising purposes. And if you look at the 3 points that I just went through just now, you will notice that there are new words that we might not know. The first one is persuade. So when you persuade someone or something, you cause someone to believe something. So when your friend says, let's go to the mall and it's really tempting, your friend is persuading you to go to the mall. An advert uses emotive language to persuade the target audience. And emotive language are words that are used to evoke emotion in the reader. So, words like love, hate, believe, faith, all of those words are emotive words. And usually, emotive words enable people to feel a specific type of way. Different forms of media are used for advertising purposes. And we have here media, the word media. Yay, our chat is back. Media is usually digitalized, and that is where we usually see all of our adverts. And before we move on to advertisements, we are quickly just going to go on and unpack the word media and what the word media means. Yes, Ollie, the lesson is on. We just had a little bit of a problem with the group chat because we had very, very nasty people earlier today saying very bad things. So that's why they had disabled things, but they had disabled it. But thank God it's back now and we can all just engage. Okay, Asemahle, you can email your work to me. That's great. Hello, Tyrese. Welcome to our group chat and our lesson. It's okay. We all have things that we have to do during lockdown, so I don't expect anyone to be on time all the time. Today we're doing adverts just to quickly catch up with people who just got here. Hi, Tyler. And we're looking at what media is because usually we find our adverts in media. So what is media? Media refers to the means of communication such as radio, television, newspapers, and magazines that reach or influence people widely. So, like I mentioned before with advertisements, you would find them on media. Lionheart Media is like Twitter and Instagram and books, etc. That's correct. Because usually we also find advertisements through social networks. So media or social media can be a platform where adverts are published. So that's a good point to point out, Lionheart. Um, let's move on to our next slide. I just want us to do this one quickly together. It's a check myself activity, and it will be used to assess what you already know about advertising. So true or false? An advert may inform the public about a new product. Is that true? Is that false? True. Yes, Tyrese, it's true, Truvolan. That is very true. Right, an advertisement will inform people about a new product. So, for example, if McDonald's has a new burger out, they will want to tell us about it through advertising. Well done, Lionheart. Well done, Monica. Well done, Palestine. Everyone else said true. That's correct. Let's look at the second one. In South Africa, an advertisement may include comparisons with other products from a different manufacturer. Is that true or false? Yes, Asemahle, that is true. Okay, Saran says false. Sari says false. Trevor false. Vicky false. Palisa false. Okay, Lionheart false. Um, it's true. It's true. because usually Nandos adverts would say something about another franchise's adverts just to lure you to come and buy their product. Therese says false because they aren't allowed to compare in the adverts. You're right, Therese. They're not allowed to compare in the adverts, but they can use words that persuade you into buying their product. So I could say for the second one, true, false. Okay, so if you said false, it's okay. So Rand, they can get charged, you're right. So I would say false does work for this one as well. Let's do the last one. Advertisers use many figures of speech. Yes, they do, Tyrese. They do, Asamachi. They do, Nelly. That one is true. Let me quickly go back to it because I lost it there for a few seconds. It is true. They can use many figures of speech to get you to buy their products. Well done, everyone. So we're all ready for today's lesson. I am so excited. Right. So, like I mentioned before, there are different categories of advertising, and all of these are brought to us via media. And there's a learner that pointed out that you do find advertisements on social media these days. So we have print advertising, which comes in the form of newspapers and pamphlets, etc. We have outdoor advertising in the form of billboards and sometimes vehicles and taxis and buses and trucks. We have broadcast advertising that comes in the form of television, that comes in the form of radio, that comes in the form of social media. And we have covert advertising, that is advertising that is seen on movies, music videos, where they advertise a product using a movie or a music video. Have you guys seen that before? Hello, Garabo, welcome. Right. So let's look at the different. Okay, and the last one is public service advertising. Public service advertising would be your health advertisements, your police advertisements, law enforcement advertisements, etc. So those are the type of advertisements you would find. Right. Let's look at print advertising. So if an advertisement is printed on a paper, be it newspapers, magazines, newsletters, booklets, flyers, direct mail, or anything else that would be considered a portable printed medium, then it comes under the banner of print advertising. And here is an example of print advertising. We have newspapers there and we have a flyer there. Lionheart is asking a question. He says, wait, ma'am, don't the people pay medias like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, etc.? Yes, they do. So with broadcast advertising, you pay for your product to be advertised. So that is very correct. You don't just advertise your product for free, or you don't ask people to advertise for you for free, because you'll be making money out of the advertisements anyway. Right. Right, let's look at broadcast advertising. So, broadcast advertising refers to commercial aired on either television, radio, and internet, which are typically called spots. It's also known as on air advertising, and it's the primary revenue generator for commercial television, radio stations, and internet sites. And going back to what Lionheart was asking me, if you look at this one carefully, they say broadcast advertising is a primary revenue generator, meaning that's how broadcasters make their money. Broadcasters make their money off of advertising. So you do pay for your product to be advertised on media, on television, on the radio, etc. Right, let us move. Okay, Blessing is raising a hand. Blessing, do you have a question? Okay, I think that was a mistake, so we can move on. There we have our television and there we have our retro radio. Outdoor advertising. So outdoor advertising is a broad term that describes any type of advertising that reaches the consumer when they are outside. Outdoor advertising is mass market medium, i.e., billboards. Lionheart is asking which way of advertising is better, ma'am. Blessing is asking, do they pay for the times in which it comes up on TV? Okay, let me start with Lionheart's question. I personally think the best way to advertise is digital media, meaning if you advertise via television, if you advertise on social media, um, that reaches people quicker, because if you're not watching TV, you're either on your social networking site, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. So I think digital media is the best. Broadcasting is the best type of advertising. But people would have different views. Yes, Line had like phones and radios, etc. Blessing, do they pay? Yes, they pay. I think paying for every time it comes up would be unfair. I think maybe it's a once-off payment for the number of times that you would like your advert to come on TV or on social media. And there we have our outdoor advertising. And we see this all the time when we drive on highways and freeways. And hopefully, we'll be driving freely after lockdown. You will see all of these billboards, even trucks sometimes that carry a lot of products for certain companies have the advertising of the different companies on the actual truck themselves. Okay, Lionheart says, does YouTube do this too? YouTube does this all the time. So whenever you are watching a YouTube video, you will notice that every 5-10 minutes there's an advertisement in between, right? Yes, so YouTube does this advertisement thing all the time. You should check YouTube videos, you'll see. Um, how would we be tested on advertising, Saran? I am coming to that just now. I just want you guys to know what the different types of advertising are before we can start answering questions based on advertising. But it's very, very easy. You will enjoy it. It's Therese, that's a good guess. But not all the time, especially not on grade 10 level. You will not be asked to create your own advert, but you will be asked to analyze an advert. Okay, Lionheart says, do you pay YouTubers to advertise on their videos? YouTubers are paid according to every advertisement that is played during their video. You can read up on that online if you're interested on becoming a YouTuber, but try that out. Okay, Trevolan says, and he's told me this privately, he says, I'm breaking up. Can anyone else experience this? Who else thinks I'm breaking up? Me. Okay, not me. Hamdan thinks I'm breaking up. Monica thinks I'm breaking up. All right. Balesa thinks I'm breaking up. Is there anything specific that you guys missed that you need me to go back to? Liseli says not anymore. All right. So can I move on? Just one yes will allow me to move on. All right, Trevolan, thank you so much. Right, let's move on. COVID advertising refers to when a product or a brand is embedded in entertainment or media. So what this means is if you are watching a movie and in the movie they drink Coca-Cola and you see them drinking Coca-Cola in more than 5 scenes, then that is called COVID advertising. So basically Coca-Cola is advertising their brand through the movie. Okay, so an example I have here is a movie, Wayne's World, and in the specific movie, they have Pizza Hut sponsoring them. So Pizza Hut is advertising a product through this movie. That's cool, right? Right, let's take a bit of a breather. Lucidi says pizza. Therese says we love pizza. Yeah, Pixar is an animation studio. I haven't really seen them advertise anything in their movies. But if you'd like to share anything with us, you're more than welcome to Lucidi. Yes, Saran, it involves having glances of the product, such as Late in the background. It means Late is sponsoring that specific movie and advertising its product. Yes, like having Sony in a movie. It means that Sony is sponsoring that specific movie or program, and Sony is advertising its brand there. Yeah, right. Let's move on. So basically, to round everything off, the purpose of advertisements is to sell something. So when you're advertising something, you want to sell it, right? And the aims of the advertising are to increase the sales of a product or service, or to create or maintain a brand identity, to communicate a change in an existing product line, or to introduce a new product or service. And when people advertise, they look at the target market. So, who do we want to persuade with this advertisement? So, the target market is the group of people that the advertisement is trying to reach. Target market may be divided into age, gender, social status, and activities. Yes, you're right, Therese. It can be adults, it can be teens, it can be kids. And when they look at the target market, they start with the country or region, urban, country, and by urban or country, they mean township or suburban. They look at age, they look at gender, they look at education, and they look at class. Well done, Lionheart. Those are all the things that they take into consideration when they are putting out an advertisement. Okay, target market again. Advertisers use the fact that buyers classify themselves in order to create adverts to appeal to those classified groups. For example, like Tyrese and Lionheart said, teens, computer geeks, stay-at-home mothers, jet setters, cooperates, etc. Tyrese, by class, they mean working class, middle class, lower class, um, all of those people. So people who are just working, people who are rich, people who are professionals, right? So, for example, an advertisement for an iPhone. Not everyone can afford an iPhone. So they look at the class in which people can afford an iPhone. But lately, most people can afford an iPhone. What would be the correct target market for a car advertisement? People with a license, Saran. Those are people most relevant for a car advertisement. Class, like I said, the different classes, social class, like middle class, low class, working class, etc. Yeah, Lionheart, you're right. Adults for a car advertisement, because you can't advertise a car for teenagers to buy. First of all, teenagers don't have jobs, and most teenagers don't have licenses, so you can't advertise cars for teenagers. Sorry, Tyrese. Right. Let's move on to the next slide. When we are advertising, we look at the IDA principle, right? So IDA principle is attention. Does the advertisement grab your attention? Interest. Does that advertisement keep you interested? Desire. Do you want what that advertisement is giving you? And action. What are you going to do once you have seen that advertisement? Lionheart says, no, I would crash a car. Of course, at 16, 15, 14, 17, you would crash a car, but you are allowed to drive and you are allowed to get a learner's license in South Africa. So you can drive under the supervision of an adult who has a license. So you can ask your parents more information about that, Nelly. You can drive at 16 in South Africa as well. Okay, let's not lose track. Let's go back to the advertisement, because people are now asking me questions about cars. Can I answer those afterwards? Okay, awesome. Let's get back into it. Okay, Bommy, let's go back to work. Lionheart says it's too short. Okay, let's move on. Quickly, just to go back to the IDA principle, okay? A lot of you guys were carried away by the driving and the cars. I said attention. Does the advertisement grab your attention? Does it keep you interested? Desire, is it what you want? And action, what do you do once you have seen the advertisement? Right, so now, someone asked me earlier, how do we deal with adverts at school when it comes to schoolwork, right? And what we usually do is we discuss and we analyze adverts. And there are specific questions that we ask when we discuss and analyze adverts for schoolwork and for marks. So they say, whilst analyzing the following advertisements, the following questions should be asked. So before you analyze an advert, there are specific questions that you need to ask first. And here are the questions. What has been advertised? What is the purpose of this advertisement? What visual techniques are being used? What language techniques are being used? How are the IDA principles applied in the advertisement? And in your opinion, is the advertisement effective? And the last question, compare the advertisements for similar products. Right. NAF is asking who are back to school adverts aimed for. I think we all know that aim for learners and teachers and parents to prep for back to school purposes. So, yeah, learners, teachers, and parents. You're all right. Okay, let's move on. Let's work together. This is the fun part. I enjoy working with you guys because you're so interactive. Okay, I just have a simple little request. Can we all focus on the work and then we'll answer all other questions later? Talita, yes, we're doing advertisements. Right, so let's analyze this visual text. Let's practice together, and then you guys will have the chance to do activity 1, 2, and 3 on your own. Okay, let's look at the advert first. It says, what's the secret of speed? And there we have a cheetah running. Seems like it's running really quick. And then we have ask the master, and the master seems to be Nike there at the bottom. Can you guys see how interesting that is? Yes, Vicky, they are advertising Nike. And what visual techniques are used? How are they making sure that they're advertising Nike, and what are they? By using a cheetah, you're right, Vicky. So they are advertising Nike, right? By using a cheetah. So this basically means that if you wear Nike apparel or Nike clothing, right, you will be quick or you will use a lot of speed. So if you buy Nike sneakers before a match, a running match, or before a sprint, you will become fast. Do you guys understand how we analyze visual text? So basically, if you want to be fast while running, you would buy Nike sneakers. And that's the secret of speed. Yes, you're right, Lionheart. They're using a cheetah for speed to tell you that if you wear the shoes, you'll be faster. Right. Yes, because the cheetah is one of the fastest animals. So if you buy Nike sneakers, it will be good for you and probably for athletes. Mosa says Adidas is better. Okay. Um, yeah, Tyler Kush, Nike is also my favorite sneaker brand. I'm not sure about Adidas being the best, but I do know that a lot of athletes wear Nike sneakers for running purposes. Okay, viewer says Max. Max is good too. Others are saying Puma Ferrari. Oh my God. Okay, let's turn down a bit. Yes, you're right, Lucidi. Everyone is off topic. Right. Everyone is very excited today. I see. Everyone's enjoying this advert lesson. Let's look at the next advert. And with this one, you're going to do on your own. So here's what I want you guys to do. Right? Take out a piece of paper and a pen. Take out a piece of paper and a pen. Or you can use your laptop, or you can use whatever other material to write down the answers for the next adverts that I will show. So if you have your paper and you have your pen, please say, got it, got it. Okay, Therese has it. Lionheart has it. Vicky has her pen and paper ready. I just need, okay, Levy, Blessing got it. Asemahle got it. Monica got it. Palesa got it. Lisette is asking us to please wait. Musa got it. Viewer got it. Okay, let's all wait for Lisette. Lisette quickly so we can start with the first task that you'll be doing on your own. So when you're answering the next task, guys, please don't send any answers to the group chat. Write down your answers on a piece of paper so that you are able to email them to me later on today. Right, Lesedi is ready. Everyone's ready. Siposetsu is ready. Right, here's our activity. Analyzing a visual text, activity 1. Look at the picture and answer the 2 questions. Look at the picture carefully. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute because we're almost out of time, and answer the questions. Once you're done answering the questions, it doesn't have to be a long answer. Just say done, done, done. If I get 10 dones, then we move on. Yes, Levi, I will send my email after the lesson. Okay, Lionheart is done. Travolan is done. Talita is done. Palesa is done. Joey done. Asemahle is done. Therese, by visual techniques, they mean what type of pictures are they using in the advert? To reinforce the meaning of the adverts. So how do you know that the product they are advertising is small but tough? Yes, Therese. Right, can we move on to the next one? Who's ready for the next activity? These are very short, quick activities. Vicky's ready. Blessings, done. If you're ready, just say yes so you can move on. Kamkhala's ready. Hatman is ready. Siposetsu's ready. Andrea's ready. Kamkhalo Asemahle. Blessing, Levi. Biwe, Joey, Mosa, Therese, Karabo. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, activity 2. Look at the picture and answer the 2 questions. This is a very interesting picture. Okay, Hadman says he's a die-hard fan of Ben's. Me too, Hadman. Okay, quickly. If you're done, just say done. It doesn't have to be long answers. Travolan, you're right. AMG for life. Musa Benz all the way. If you're done, just say done so you can move on. Done. Blessings done. Vicky, AMG, yes. Balesa, done. Siposetsu's done. Lionheart, SA class, AMG. SL class. Lesedi, good. Kamkhela, done. Okay, let's do the last one. If you're ready for the last activity, say yes. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. I love your energy today. I'm so happy. Right. Let's do the last one. And in case you didn't know, guys, this Sunday is Mother's Day. So this advert is very relevant to what's happening this Sunday. And delivery is open during level 4 lockdown. So you know what to do. I know, Monica, I had also forgotten. It's Mother's Day this Sunday. So do best. I also can't wait, Therese. Answer the questions for me quickly. What are they advertising here? And what visual techniques are used? Nelly, Nandos is live. Okay, Levi is done. Therese is done. Vicky is done. Musa is done. Travolan is done. Asemahle Joey is done. IG Nice Gray is done. Siposetsu is done. Nelly is done. And guessing from all of the people sending me done. We're all done at this point. Right. Let's quickly do corrections. Okay, let's go back a bit. So for activity 1, they are advertising a polo, right? And they're saying a polo is small but tough. And what visual techniques are they using here? They've used the little polo and they have police officers standing behind the polo as a form of protection. Can you see? So that those are the visual techniques they've used for safety. Yes, Trevolin. They can use a small polo for safety because it is tough. Let's look at the second one. Here they're advertising a Mercedes Benz, right? And they're saying 525 horses working in a way that animal rights associations could complain about. So what are they advertising here? They're advertising this car and it has 525 horsepower, right? So basically it's 525 horses in one car. And instead of using 525 horses, they've used one car as a visual technique to prove that you don't need 525 horses. You can just get this one car. Yes, Lionheart, that's a lot of horsepower. Yes, Vicky, instead of using 525 horses, they use just one car. A Lambo is definitely faster. Right, let's look at the last one. Analyzing a visual text, activity 3. I said 2 here, but it's 3. They are advertising free delivery on Mother's Day, right? They're advertising free delivery on Mother's Day, and this is Nandos. The visual technique they used here is a full chicken, right? Full chicken. Yes, please stay focused, right? They've used here full chicken as visual technique because everyone wants a nice good meal for Mother's Day. So they are delivering for free on Mother's Day. This is an old advert. They are not doing this Sunday. I don't think Nando's is open as yet. Yes, Vicky, they are using full chicken. So we all got it, right? And these are the types of questions they could ask you guys in an exam or a test. What you can do is you can email me your answers, pictures of your answers to me at langa.pearl@gmail.com. I am going to send my email address to you guys in the group chat in case you miss it. It's langa.pearl@gmail.com. If you submit your work to me on time, I will give you a shout out tomorrow before the lesson. So make sure you email me your work as quickly as you can so that I can give you a shout out first thing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So make sure you are here at 1 o'clock on the dot to see your answers. Okay, before you guys, thank you so much, Balesa. My birthday is on the 4th of March. Let's not go off track. Let's quickly recap, right? You must remember that the purpose of an advertisement is to sell something. Aims of advertising are to increase the sales of a product or service, to create or maintain a brand identity, to communicate a change in an existing product, and to introduce a new product or service. I will definitely do this again tomorrow, Levi. Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you, Siposetu. Bye, Trevolin. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, please join me because we'll be looking at visual literacy cartoons. So please tune in. The work is due today or tomorrow before 1 o'clock so you can get your shout outs. Thank you, Lissetti. I'm so glad you learned a lot. Bye, Vicky. Thank you so much, guys. You can check us out on www.africateamgigs.co.za. You can email me again at langa.pearl@gmail.com. Follow us on social media, African Team Gigs on Twitter. I am at Pearlings on Twitter. And on Facebook, I'm Pearl Pulling Langa. So you are more than welcome to add me. Thank you so much, guys. See you again tomorrow. Bye.